It's the 9th of May, and I'm in my apartment where I've been experiencing very serious treason and very serious offences against my constitutional human rights, which are quite embarrassing. Since 2019, this has been happening in a one bedroom apartment where there has been water cut off, heat has been cut off, and there has been breaking and entering, and there has been theft from my apartment, and there have been violations of privacy and intrusions. This has been happening since 2019. In 2016, my marital home, my property in Tubbard Hill, was trespassed upon in December of 2016, and I'm experiencing incessant offences against my rights, and my child is still a missing person, and my husband has been a missing person, and there's identity theft occurring, and there are individuals purporting storylines, plots of fallacy that aren't actually of reality, and I'm very concerned. So there is at the moment individuals still continuing in offences against the human right to faith, religion and spirituality. They don't seem to have comprehended what they have done already to my baby boy unlawfully from my care, and the state agencies that are aware of the exploitation of my child and I, and the monetary gains. I'm very concerned about everybody involved thinking that they're going to continue going on with this situation when there's huge amount of theft going on. It's not just about the property. My baby boy was born precious. He is still precious. I'm a royal mom, and there are people not really comprehending the laws, and they're playing with faith, religion and spirituality that are contravening very serious faith and family issues. So I have many bloodlines. I have a fabulous hereditary, and there are people in this community that are after intruding upon my bloodline, and that are of imposter syndrome and identity issues. They've been of identity theft, and they're intruding upon my family and I, and my bloodlines are they're many and numerous, and I'm royal blood of Ireland, and the government and the president's office are disrespecting their obligations while I'm living in a one bedroom apartment with no heating or no water, etc. I haven't had a shower in my abode for the past few months, so I'm still wondering where my child is, and I'm wondering who thinks it's safe to be on my property in Tubbard Hill, in Tubbard Hill advert, I mean, and these people are risking people's lives. So they're still playing around with spiritual violence, and they've done damage to people's well-being. And this is a serious issue. I've been for recovery and health, sobriety and sanity, etc. And in full sane sobriety, I can say that there's a huge embarrassment being caused in this community. I'm 41 years of age. I'm a qualified professional. I'm a property owner. I'm a mother. And in Tralee, County Kerry, they're still causing problems since 2007, 2006. So there are people not comfortable with their own identities, and there are people living off my wealth, and the government seems to think this is acceptable. So I'm going to share this as an upload of human rights abuses against women and children's rights for the interests of the Taoiseach and the Taoiseach that are facilitating this since 2015. 2017 as well. They've ignored the ombudsman procedures. They've ignored all their obligations. They haven't done their jobs properly at all. I'm a qualified professional, and these people are liabilities in society, and they haven't paid their debts. So they're putting women's well-being at risk. I'm a women's rights advocate as well, and there have been women's lives damaged also, and women's children's lives damaged since January 2017, since people started evading the reality of the circumstances that they caused. I'm an avatar, the sun is shining. I'm a royal avatar. So these people are they're being really silly. So I hope the United Nations knows that it has observed the circumstances from my uploads as a reality of the inhumane behaviours that are being conducted by people that are on property where they don't have any rights. It's really vast property. It's really expensive property. It's property that people don't have rights to trespass upon. My husband is a missing person, and my child is a missing person, and there's a very serious matter done to flora and fauna and women's rights. So I hope everyone's going to be aware about the very sinister nature of acquisitions and so on and so forth. It's a sad sign of the times. So those people on Ardfert and Clifflin farm holdings of McElligott, my family's for the past 300 years, and that are facilitating harms to my child since 2017, I hope you're aware. Your debts are outstanding since 2006. Revenge porn and rape in society that you're responsible for are not helping you onto my property or my land, or helping you safely to care for my child in the unsuitable circumstances that you've presented to him as a baby boy of royal heritage and royal blood from me, my name, from my bloodline. My child has been harmed from this community in the southwest of Ireland. Southwest of Ireland, Tralee, County Kerry is not a suitable setting for any professional developments that can't adhere to proper conduct or professional standards. The southwest of Ireland is of more financial fraud, more financial theft. It's scandalous. The debt that this country and county owes me is really embarrassing. So I hope everybody's aware about how their conducts are with regard to their conscience of how they're spending their wealth when it doesn't belong to them. I don't think it's very safe, people spending other people's money and walking onto other people's homes and properties and messing around with other people's rights and families. So those that have been messing and being careless, I'm concerned. I'm concerned. So this is the latest update from Tralee, County Kerry, southwest of Ireland. It's known by no other name. It's Tralee, County Kerry, Ireland, and there's a very serious problem with people trying to claim from my wealth and property, work and purpose and fortune and family, and the guards and the Department of Justice since the 2018 stage of this process are fully aware of the circumstances with regard to changes I've brought around in this country that they still owe debts for. So the state knows its debt, that it owes my name and title. I'm a baroness, and I'm of royal heritage, and my child is a missing person, and there are individuals being quite cheeky. So I hope everybody in a sensible position would be knowing how to learn from the past. 70s, 60s in Ireland, even before then, 60s. The 60s, I think, of Ireland is quite an important era for people to know about learning from the past and the history of Ireland, and dirty situations that are presently presenting themselves with those that are being very dirty on my property and dirtying my royal heritage and so on and so forth. So this is a private public upload in a dirty living space that has been provided for me as a baroness while individuals are living off my wealth. It's got no heating, no hot water, and I haven't showered in months. So there are dirty people living off a dirty circumstance, and I'm of sanity and sobriety, and they're not doing the steps. They're not living by sanity and sobriety, and they're not of fellowship, and so on and so forth. So I hope everybody's aware about the really sinister nature of the very serious spiritual violence that has been conducted in my spiritual experience as a royal, sacred royal, and the problems that have been caused, the spiritual violence in my homes in Tubbard Hill. My home is in Tubbard Hill, and I'm concerned that the guards and the government haven't removed the violators, accessators, and intruders and trespassers from my property, and that my child is still a missing person. So there is a big job for people to portray courage and bravery, and I hope President D. Higgins will be able to uphold his position properly. With respect to the O'Higgins and O'Regan bloodline, I uphold as well. I hope Mr. President will be able to uphold and respect his bloodline in County Kerry. And this entire situation is quite embarrassing. So this is the latest update. This is for the humanitarians and the recovery advocates throughout the world. Not for Ireland, obviously.